The air was cool and carried the smell of wet earth. Every morning, before the sun was fully up, Marta would walk down her little path to the roadside. She carried a simple wooden crate. In the crate were small bunches of wildflowers. She placed the crate on an old, painted chair. Next to it, she put a small metal box with a slit in the top. On the box, she painted the words, "Wildflowers. 1 bunch, 2 coins. Thank you." Then she would walk back to her cottage and watch from her window. She never stood by the stand. There was no one to guard it. It worked on an honor system. People had to be honest. The first customer was usually Leo, the postman. He drove his little mail truck down the country road very early. He would stop. He would choose a bunch of blue and white flowers. He would drop 4 coins into the metal box. The sound was a soft clink, clink. Marta would smile. Leo took the flowers to his wife, who loved fresh blooms on their breakfast table. Marta saw this happen every Monday. One Wednesday, a woman in a red car stopped. She looked tired. She got out and looked at the flowers. She chose a bright yellow bunch. She opened her purse. She looked inside. She frowned. She had no coins. She looked around. No one was there. She bit her lip. She put the flowers back gently. She got into her car and drove away. Marta saw this from her window. Her heart felt heavy. She wished the woman had just taken the flowers. The next day, the woman in the red car returned. She stopped again. This time, she chose 2 bunches of yellow flowers. She walked to the metal box. She took out an envelope. She slipped it into the box's slit. Then she left with a small smile. Later, when Marta collected the box, she found the envelope. Inside were 4 coins and a note. The note said, "For yesterday's flowers and for today's. Thank you for the beauty." Marta kept that note. It was her first thank you note. Weeks passed. The seasons began to change. The wildflowers were different now. Orange and red instead of yellow and blue. One rainy afternoon, a young boy on a bicycle stopped. He was maybe 10 years old. He was getting very wet. He looked at the flowers. He looked at the metal box. He felt in his pocket. He had only 1 coin. He stood there for a long time, getting wetter. Then, he took a single bunch of red flowers. He put his 1 coin into the box. He also took out a little stone, smooth and white, from his other pocket. He placed the stone carefully on top of the metal box. Then he rode away quickly. The next morning, the stone was still there. And next to it, someone had left a small, ripe apple. Marta saw this. She wondered who left the apple. Later that day, a man picking up flowers left a feather beside the stone. The day after, someone left a shiny button. Marta started to watch this new tradition. The little collection of objects grew on the old chair. A seashell, a smooth piece of glass, a handwritten joke on a scrap of paper. The honor box was not just for money anymore. It was for small, kind exchanges. People were honest with their coins, but they were also generous with their small treasures. Then one cold morning, Marta saw something different. The metal box was gone. The chair was empty. Her heart sank. She felt a cold disappointment. Was someone finally dishonest? Had they taken all the money and the box? She walked slowly down the path. As she got closer, she saw it. The box was not gone. It was on the ground next to the chair. It was open. The coins were spilled in the dirt. It looked bad. But then Marta looked at the chair. On the seat, arranged neatly, were all the little objects, the stone, the feather, the button, the shell. And in the center of them was a new bunch of wildflowers, tied with string. A note was tucked under the stone. It read, "The wind was very strong last night. It knocked everything over. We put it back as best we could. Sorry about the mess." The note was signed, "Your customers." Marta gathered the coins. She placed the box back on the chair. She left the little objects where they were. They were a monument to honesty. She felt a warm feeling in her chest. It was not about the money. It was about trust. It was about a community that she never really spoke to, but she knew. They were connected by a simple wooden crate of flowers and an old metal box. Winter came. The flowers were gone. But Marta still went to the roadside every morning. She left the crate on the chair. Inside, she placed small, green winter branches with berries. The sign now read, "Winter branches. 1 bunch, 2 coins. Thank you." And the little collection of objects remained. The stone, the feather, the button. They were frozen in place sometimes, but they were always there. People still came. They took a bunch of branches. They put their coins in the box. Sometimes they added a new little treasure, a pine cone, a piece of ribbon. Marta learned that honesty is not a big, loud thing. It is quiet. It is in the clink of coins in a metal box on a quiet road. It is in a note left for flowers you forgot to pay for. It is in a single coin from a boy who tried his best. It is in a community of strangers who pick up the pieces after a storm. The roadside stand was more than a flower stand. It was a mirror. It reflected the good, honest hearts of the people who passed by. And every day, as she watched from her window, Marta had faith. She had faith in the honor system and in the kindness of the human heart.